Every morning, without realizing it, you are either pulling your relationship closer or quietly pushing it further away, not with big decisions, not with arguments. With something so small you have probably never once stopped to think about it. There are couples who have been married for 40, 50, 60 years, and they are not just surviving. They are still choosing each other every single morning. What are they doing that nobody is talking about? This is not a video about communication strategies. It is not about love languages or therapy exercises or scheduling date nights. This is about something that happens before 9 a.m., something that takes less than 5 minutes, and something that the couples who stay together, not just legally together, but genuinely, madly, still reaching for each other together, do so consistently that it has become invisible to them. By the end of this video, you are going to walk away with 3 things. First, you will understand exactly what the morning ritual of lasting couples actually looks like, in real, specific detail. Second, you will see the one thing most couples do every morning that slowly erodes the foundation without either person ever noticing. And third, you will have something you can do tomorrow morning. Not eventually. Tomorrow, stay with this. Because what's coming will change how you see the first 10 minutes of every day. Think about how your mornings actually go. Alarm, phone, maybe coffee, maybe a good morning. That is more of a sound than a sentence. Scroll, get dressed, move through the kitchen at slightly different speeds, slightly different rhythms, like 2 ships passing in a harbor that has become so familiar neither one bothers to wave anymore. And that is not a bad marriage. That is just Tuesday. But here is what nobody tells you about Tuesday. Tuesday is where relationships are actually built or quietly dismantled. Not in the big moments. Not in the vacations or the anniversaries or the arguments that finally clear the air. On Tuesday morning. In the 9 minutes between the alarm and the front door closing. The most common mistake couples make, and this is almost universal, is treating the morning like a logistics operation. Who has the car? Who picks up the kids? What is for dinner? The morning becomes a coordination meeting between 2 project managers who happen to share a bed, and it is efficient. It works. Nobody is upset, but something is slowly going missing. Something that cannot be named easily, which is exactly why it never gets addressed until it has been gone for years. Here is the question I want you to hold on to, and I will come back to this at the end, because the answer is not what you expect. Why is it that 2 people can share a morning every day for 20 years and still end up feeling like strangers? The answer lives in a single behavior. One behavior. Done or not done. Every morning. But before we get there, we need to talk about what most people think the problem is. Because they are looking in completely the wrong place. Point 1. They leave with intention, not just logistics. The couples who never divorce do not necessarily have longer mornings. They do not wake up earlier or follow a perfect routine out of a wellness book. What they do, and this is specific, is they leave each other with something that is not about the day's schedule. Not, don't forget the dry cleaning. Not, call me when you land. Something that lands differently. Something personal. Something that says, I see you. Not the version of you that has meetings today. You.it might be a question. What is the one thing you are? Hoping goes well today. It might be an observation. You seem like you have something on your mind. We will talk tonight. It might just be a look that lasts 2 seconds longer than it needs to. The point is not the words. The point is the signal underneath the words. The signal that says, you are not furniture in my morning. You are the reason I am moving through this day. Most couples have accidentally removed that signal entirely. They replaced it with schedules. And the relationship started running on efficiency instead of connection. That is point 1. Now point 2 is where it gets uncomfortable. Because this is the thing most people are actively doing that they have no idea is costing them. Point 2. They protect the first and last moment of contact. There is a moment every morning that most couples have destroyed without knowing it. Goodbye. Not the logistical goodbye. The actual goodbye. The physical moment of separation. The hug. The kiss. The hand on the shoulder. That moment is one of the most psychologically loaded exchanges in a relationship. And most couples blow through it in under 3 seconds while one person is already half out the door. The couples who last, the ones who are still reaching for each other after 30 years, they protect that moment. They do not treat it as a transition. They treat it as a punctuation mark. A deliberate, physical full stop that says, this mattered. You matter. See you on the other side of the day. And the same goes for the reunion. The first 60 seconds when both people are back in the same space. That window, most couples fill it immediately with complaints, questions, tasks. The car needs servicing. Someone called. Did you see what happened with the neighbors? But the couples who stay, they learned, somehow, that those first 60 seconds of reunion set the emotional temperature for the entire evening. They protect it. They land first. They say, I missed you, or how are you actually? Before they say anything practical at all. This is not romantic advice. This is architecture. The structure of your mornings and evenings is the structure of your relationship. And most people inherited their structure by accident. Point 3 is the deepest one, and honestly, it is the one that separates the couples who last from everyone else. Point 3. They keep saying each other's name. This will sound small. It is not small. Somewhere in long relationships, couples stop using each other's names. They become, hey, and babe, and a tap on the arm and a cleared throat. The name disappears, and what disappears with it is something invisible but essential. The feeling of being addressed as a specific person. Not a roommate, not a co-parent. A chosen, specific, irreplaceable person. The couples who never divorce. Pay attention to their mornings, and you will notice this. They still use each other's names. Naturally. Regularly. Not performatively. Morning, Sarah. Not morning. What do you need today, James? Not what do you need today. One word. The most personal word in the language. And most couples have quietly retired it. The name is a micro-signal that fires something deep. It says, I am talking to you specifically. Out of everyone in the world. You. Start doing this tomorrow morning. Just the name. Watch what happens in the room. Now, back to the question I left open. Why do two people share a morning every day for 20 years and still end up feeling like strangers? Here is the answer. And it is not what most people expect. That it is not because they stopped loving each other. It is not because they chose wrong. It is not because life got hard. It is because they stopped addressing each other. They were in the same room, but talking past each other. Running the logistics of a shared life without ever turning directly toward the person they were running it with. The name stopped. The goodbye became a reflex. The first 60 seconds of reunion became a briefing, and slowly, without a single argument, without a single dramatic moment, they stopped feeling like the main character in each other's story. They became the background. The couples who last figured out, sometimes intentionally, sometimes by instinct, that you have to keep addressing the person. Keep naming them. Keep landing on them before the day takes both of you somewhere else. It is not grand. It is not romantic in the movie sense. It is 3 small behaviors, done every morning, that keep saying, I chose you. I still choose you. See you tonight. There is one more layer to this, specifically what happens in the evenings when couples either reconnect or quietly drift. That is the next conversation. Tomorrow morning, try one thing. Just one. Say their name before you say anything else. That is it. That is the whole experiment. See what shifts. If this landed somewhere real for you, subscribe. Because every week on this channel goes deeper into the things that actually hold people together. This content is for educational purposes only. For personal relationship challenges, please reach out to a licensed therapist or counselor.